Hey, family, peace and blessings. Welcome to Sunday Sitting with Sisters. I'm back with again for another conversation as we sit on this Sunday talking with some sisters about what's going on in the world out there. And today I am so blessed to be joined by Sister Ashley Thomas. And I'm really excited for this interview because you are an amazing woman. And we're talk today about entrepreneurship, and we're going to talk about being a businesswoman and just your motivation behind that. So first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Wanting to ask you, what is your background? Where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Stockton, California, born and
Okay,
raised.
okay, Stockton. Because I know people who moved to Stockton, but I've never met no one that was really literally like I was born and raised in Stockton.
Yes,
So
born and
that's what's
raised.
up. Right? Where's your family? Where's your mom and your dad from?
So my dad, he's from Gary, Indiana. My mom is she was from Stockton, but Tracy.
Tracy. Okay.
hmm
So, growing up in Stockton, what was Stockton like?
So growing up in Stockton or growing up as Ashley?
Growing up in Stockton, California, because I think of Sacramento, and
Yeah.
Sacramento to me was like a cow town, and then over the years it started growing. I mean, I was just in Phoenix last week, and
Mhm.
Phoenix felt like Sacramento 25, 30 years ago.
Stockton was always quiet, calm. It was like the valley. Nothing was fast. Everything was slow. So it wasn't like the Bay Area, because I know when the Bay Area started moving to Stockton, it shifted
Mhm.
Stockton. So Stockton was very calm, slow, desert like, and small.
Mhm.
Everybody knew everybody.
So, when you were growing up, did you have any idea of what it is that you wanted to do?
No, my dream was always to be a teacher.
That's what's up. We need teachers. What made you want to be a teacher?
My grandma, she was a teacher, and so during the break, she used to take us to clean out her classrooms and stuff. So I always wanted to be a teacher.
Right on. And so what kind of teacher did you want to be? Like, is it any particular subject that you liked or
Well, because I was, one of those bad kids. So I wanted to be, so I really wanted to just help the community.
you
I want to
know?
work with the broken kids. I want to work and give back because I grew up with a learning disability. I was dyslexic, so I was labeled a lot. So I really wanted to help kids who couldn't help themselves.
Right on. When you look back on your school experience, in particular the high school experience for starters, even though we're going to talk about your college a little bit,
Yeah.
how do you think when you look back on it now that they could have helped you with your learning disability?
um, I was like a bad kid, so I did. I wasn't good in school. I was smart, but I was always in trouble. And that was more from my background at home. So I feel like a teacher, instead of just labeling me as like bad, it was like I'm hungry. You know what I mean? It was more to my behavior than just my actions.
I know. I only asked you that question because I think a lot of us have certain backgrounds, and I think it's even now they're still struggling with they think so-called bad kids are. I'm
hmm
going like this. This past week, I restarted working in juvenile hall, and I work with the girls, and all the girls in there that I talked to, they were really brilliant. They just had some hiccups that landed them in juvenile hall. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So but when they were talking, they were really brilliant, and they all had ideas of things they wanted to be when they grew up. You know what I mean?
hmm
And so, but they just had some hiccups and some quirks. You talked about being hungry. If you're hungry, you can't keep still.
Yeah.
You can't. You know what I mean?
You can't focus on school on the subject. So it was a lot of labeling that I went through. I was labeled a lot as like a bad kid. So
Right
and I
on.
moved. I was always homeless, so we moved different schools.
Right on. See, all of that is a part of what makes the story to me. So last night I watched Tina Turner's documentary called Tina, and when I tell you I love Tina Turner first of all. So
Yeah.
I was the person at the karaoke when at our family when we do our little lip sync, and I would do these long old Tina Turner songs. It's just like, oh my God, she's doing the extended version. So
Yeah.
me and my sisters was laughing about that, but but it's just something about the background, like when she really gets into the depth of who she is. And it's like, wow, all brilliant people kind of have this story, like, like some
Mhm.
kind of adversity in there. That not like you want people to have it, but when you get dealt those things, it's like, what do you do with it? And so
Yeah.
how did you go from being like this kid who has some issues going on, you know what I mean,
Mhm.
and being labeled a bad kid, to going to San Joaquin Delta College and graduating from there in 2016, and then going on to the University of Pacific and graduating from there in 2018. So what was that leap in between there? How did you end up going to college?
Having kids and seeing that I didn't want them to have to go through the same struggles I went through, and just really like talking to God, like I want something different. And he was like, okay, I'm gonna show you a different way. Cause I always tell people, like, they say go to college, but everyone who tells you to go to college never been in my life, you know? So it's kind
Mm-hmm.
of hard to tell somebody to do something you never did. And I've heard myself telling my kids, like, you guys gonna go to college, you guys gonna go to college. But I'm like, how am I gonna tell them something I never did?
Mm.
So
Get
I
the truth.
expect, yeah, I expected something from them that I wasn't able to do myself. And so
Wow.
yeah, so when I decided to go back to school, it was like, yeah, I'm going to school. And I was like, what? Because I was a single mom with 4 kids.
Wow. So let's back up for a minute. How old were you when you had your first child?
I had her on my 18th birthday. We share the same birthday.
Oh, that's beautiful. So how did you feel about your pregnancy?
No, it wasn't something planned. It wasn't something, it was just, it happened. I had 2 kids at 19. I was married at 19. Um, but it was an abusive marriage. So, when I wanted to leave, I found myself having 4 kids. And I'm like, how can I leave a situation and provide for my kids? So when I really thought about it, so it's like you mentally leave before you could physically leave an abusive relationship. So I started going to school so I could have something that he couldn't take away from me, which was my education.
Wow. So that's inspiring in itself. How did you get the idea to go to college though? So if you're in an abusive marriage, it sounds like, and you have
Hmm.
children, that's a lot of weight on a person. You know what I mean? That's a lot
Yeah,
of responsibility. How did you get the spark to be like, I'm gonna need some education if I'm gonna get out of here?
I wanted something different. I didn't want to struggle. I didn't want my kids to struggle like I grew up struggling. So they said the myth, if you go to college, you make more money. So I said,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this is something I got to do, regardless of what my situation is. I need to be able to provide for my children. And so
Right on.
they went on the journey with me.
Wow. So how did you feel when you first walked on that campus, knowing that you had came from school where you struggled with a learning disability, you were in an abusive relationship, you have 4 children that were definitely going to depend on their mama.
Hmm.
How did you feel stepping on that campus?
I was scared. I was terrified. I didn't think I could do it because being from Stockton, you hear the myth about Delta. You get in Delta, you're gonna get lost. You're not gonna graduate. But I knew I had 2 years to graduate. I knew it,
Mm,
and I said I'm gonna do it. So I asked for help, something I never did before. I asked,
mm,
like, even find the classes. Like, can you help me find a class? Do you know what this building is? Talking to counselors. Okay, this is my plan. This is what I want to do. Being told I couldn't do it. It's not possible. But God always sent me somebody with favor and who believed in me and like, you could do it. This is what you need to do. And so I talked to a counselor. And he gave me a 2-year plan because my with my units and being a high school dropout, I was coming with a 4-year plan at Delta, and I said I don't have 4 years to give Delta.
mm. So what was your strategy? How did you put 4 years into two?
I took I doubled my units. So I went to summer school when they said you only could take 2 classes. I took 4, and I took 2 online and 2 in person because I said I could show up full time and I could work full time when I'm supposed to be asleep. So I was taking 21 units at a time, and I wanted to be done with Delta before. I didn't plan on um, furthering my education. So I
Hmm.
just wanted to be done with Delta in 2 years because I wanted to be done before my two younger daughters started school.
Right on. What did you major in?
At Delta, it was early childhood education. So I got my AA in early childhood education and my site supervisor certificate in early childhood education and assistant teacher in site um, early childhood education also.
Right on.
And welfare
Um,
only gives you 2 years.
Wait, say
So
that again.
welfare only gives you 2 years to go to school. So I
Oh
was like
wow.
on the clock to where I was getting help through the system. So I was on a financial clock for 2 years. That's all I had.
Right on. Right on. Right on. So, what made you then go to the University of Pacific?
The truth, it was an accident.
Oh,
So I was applying because when I was finishing Delta, I was getting my GPA was 3.8. I was getting the dean's list, but coming from a background that I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what my GPA was doing for me actually. So I was just applying to different colleges. I got accepted to Sac State. I wanted to go to East Bay, but my car wouldn't make it at the time, so I didn't want to risk it going and not being able to make it there.
hmm.
So when I got accepted to UOP, it was closer. It was the best option for me.
Wow. So, once you were at the University of the Pacific, what was that like going to school at a university as opposed to a JC?
Um, I think it was a culture shock for Pacific because you don't see too many people that look like you. You don't have too many people that believe in you. It was more like, oh, how'd she get here? Like,
Hmm.
and my background wasn't like everybody else's. So my story was a lot different. But I told myself, wherever I go, I'm gonna finish. So I demanded help. I demanded my resources. There's a lot of
Right.
resources that people don't know about, and so I said, "You guys chose me, so I'm gonna get through."
Right. When you were there, um, what were some of the things, if an administrator is listening right now, what are some of the things they could improve on to help people like yourself have access to a university like that?
Um, I feel like, especially in Stockton, just making it attainable for somebody like me. When you're in Stockton and from Stockton, especially being a Black woman, you don't think UOP is an option. And I feel like it needs to be more presented to the high schools and not just to certain areas. I feel like they need to have representatives, the BSUs at Edison. They need to have them, Franklin. The students need to be able to see that they can go to UOP and it is an option, especially being from Stockton.
Wow. So you say a lot of, well, do you know the percentage of Black people in Stockton? I'm always curious about that.
No, not at the moment, not right now.
Is there a lot of Black people there though? I mean, from what you can see?
Stockton is diverse. It's
Okay.
very diverse. So it's not but UOP has a 3% enrollment of African Americans.
Right on. So we definitely have more than 3% of Black people in
Hmm.
Stockton.
Yes.
Okay. So that
Yeah,
makes a lot of
absolutely.
yeah, that makes a
Absolutely.
lot of sense. That definitely makes a lot of sense. So what did you major in at UOP?
I majored in sociology with the minor ethnic studies
And why did you choose that?
because so going to UOP, I wanted to have more options of what I wanted to do because going to school, I found out that be I didn't just want to be a teacher. I wanted to own my own school. I wanted to build a school. I wanted to have a charter school. So it made me it helped me just think outside the box. I didn't want to just be a teacher working in a classroom. I wanted to be able to design schools and help children in low income communities, help give them access and the opportunities that different communities have that they don't have the same advantage.
Right on. ISIS just said that 11.15% of Black people live in Stockton. So she came with the stats. Thank you, fact checker.
Thank
No.
you.
So yeah, less
Yes.
than 3%. That's definitely got to change. We definitely should be on that campus, and you're right. That really should be an option. We should be thinking that after I leave whatever high school, I'm going to UOP. You know,
Hmm.
that's the
Yeah,
way
it
that
should
should
be.
kind of roll
Yeah.
out. I totally agree. So and so you said you minored in ethnic studies.
Hmm.
Why ethnic studies?
Honestly, I felt like when I was there, I wanted to learn more. Like, because people, your story is not by accident. And so I wanted to know how do we end up the way we are in our life?
Mm,
How? So I just wanted to know more and different in depth about people and their life, their situation, and because success is not always it's not the same for everybody. And I want to know some people you could be successful in many different ways, but I want to know the struggles that people face in the
mm,
different cultures and communities.
right on. Did you find your answers in terms of your upbringing and why you were experiencing some of those things?
I don't think I found my answer. I just felt like
No,
God
I
made me
just
stronger.
wondered. Yeah, I just wondered. But did you ever get a chance to, when you looked at your background, you talked about homelessness, you talked about having a
Mhm.
learning disability, have you ever had a chance to at least talk with people in your immediate family around what led up to some of the circumstances of their lives?
Mhm. Yeah, and a lot of it you find out too is passed down from generation to generation. Some stuff your parents just didn't know that, so they couldn't give it to you.
Right
And
on.
that's what made me realize with my own kids that if I want them to have, like, they go on my journey with me. If I want them to know something, I can't teach them something I don't know.
Right on. Right on. So with that being said, you then went to work and was wrongfully fired in 2002, right? I mean 2020, right?
Hmm.
And what kind of job was it? You don't have to give the name, but what was it? Were you? I don't know. What were you doing?
I was a coordinator at the University of Pacific for Black Student Success.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. That's a wow. So then you started to take up the cause of making sure we can get in there and be
Yeah.
successful.
Yeah.
And if I wow. So what did you do when that happened to you?
So I was devastated. I was hurt because I really did I love my job. I loved making a difference. You know, I love the students. I loved being because it was a transition from being a black student on campus to now actually being their voice. So I was really hurt, but I had to move forward. And God shook the atmosphere because it was something I was not expecting. And I had to just keep pushing through.
Right on. So you started three businesses.
Yeah.
Uh, was that in the same month?
No.
Okay. I was like, whoa, like, man, look here. So how did that come about? Because normally people lose the job, they run and find another one. You
Yeah.
know, they never think about maybe I need to work for myself. I have a friend who owns a lot of business on the East Coast, and he said he was fired like 11 times from different jobs. Then he was like, and he said, I even fired myself one time, like in terms of when I was working for myself, I just quit. He said he
Yeah.
realized he had to work for himself.
And so going to work every day, showing up, going the extra mile, staying late, being available when you're off the clock, that just it hurt. But more importantly, it was like you said I put in a verbal, but I didn't. And the question I had, what about my kids?
Mm,
Like I have 5 kids. How do I feed them tomorrow if today's my last day? And
mm,
so going through that experience, it was nobody would ever be over my finances when it comes to the sake of my kids. You can't tell me how they're going to eat because I struggled growing up.
Mm.
So that's where it came to where I'm gonna be in control of my own income.
Now that makes sense. So I see that you have three businesses. You have the Clean Bee Cleaning Service. Let's start
Yes.
right there. What is Clean Bee Cleaning Service?
So the Clean Bee cleaning service, it came first. So could I cried for 3 days. I gave myself 3 days to cry, and then I got up and got dressed like I was going to work. But I wasn't going to work. I was going to sit and use my sister's Wi-Fi. So I got the cleaning company because I was like, you know what, I need to do something. I'm going to do something now. I'm not going to go get a job right now because nobody's ever going to fire me again. And I just thought, like, what can you do? What business can you do for free? I don't have a whole lot of money. Like, what can I go do to where I'm in control of me? And that's how the cleaning
Mm.
business started.
So tell me, what do people just make a referral? Like, oh, she's pulling up your website. I love it. So do people make a referral?
Shout out to
Um,
Isis. She's
I love
um,
it.
so with the cleaning business, so it all started was I was like, okay, I'm gonna start. I was raised background, know how to clean. My mom taught me well. Um, I went and did flyers. Me and my kids, we went to Walmart, was passing out flyers, and then it just like grew and took off. After that, I do the Facebook ads. I a lot of referrals, and I have a lot of support in the community too.
Right on. So you just do stuff in Stockton, or you do stuff here in Sacramento?
No, I go to Sacramento, Modesto. We're pretty much all over Elk Grove.
I love it. Right on. And so, Isis, can you take us to the contact page so we can get that information up since we on the cleaning bee cleaning service? Um, let's see. I love it. So you do all kind of stuff. What cleaning do you do? Like you just is there like categories to this or
So it's different categories. So we do a house cleaning. We offer general cleaning, and we also offer the deep cleaning service also. And we do commercial cleaning. We do one time cleaning. We have every 2 weeks. So bi-weekly, it's pretty much whatever the customer wants, we do it. And pretty much we do the hard jobs. We take on tough jobs that people are not willing to do.
like Isis, can you make that a little closer? I don't know if your screen's like mine, where you can make it closer so we can really see that. Yeah. Because I see that there's a phone number. This is great where you're at. Get in touch, but I just wish that that could be a little closer. See, my screen is a touch screen because I'm old, so I need to. I ain't got time to be going through the little buttons. But there's her website there, cleanbeecleaningservice.org. I'm definitely going to be reaching out to y'all because this is a true story. I hired, this was years ago, many years ago. I hired a woman. She used to come and clean. She did my bathroom cleanings in the kitchen because I used to travel a lot. And one day I sat down and had coffee with her because I was home this day. And she was telling me that she had some houses for rent because she owned a bunch of property. And I was like, but you clean houses. She said, yeah, I'm trying to build some wealth. And I thought to myself, like, this woman cleans my house, but she owns properties. She owns homes. She owns real estate.
Mhm.
So anyway, thank you for that, Isis. Could you put that back up there for me,
I had a
please?
customer I had a customer do me like that. Because they I don't know why house cleaning is looked upon as like a bad thing. She said, "Oh, why are you wasting your degree from UOP cleaning houses?" I was like, "I'm not." I just let her know. I told my daughter, I said, "We done made $150 an hour right now, so trust me, it was not wasted."
Right on, right
And
on.
and that's why I had to teach my kids. I said, it's not about what you do, it's how you do it. So if you leave on top, you're always gonna be on top.
Right on. Isis, put that contact information up there one more time for that cleaning service. So if you have, and that's so true. And I also think that is something that we know everybody's going to need. Let's just be
Hmm.
honest. I mean, even though people want what they think is high tech and high profile, it is always those people that keep the world, basically turning. And people want to live in a clean space. At least I know I
Yes.
do. So, sis, we're gonna be reaching out to you. I'm gonna need some help. with that. Then your next business is the big text hauling and junk removal. Oh Lord,
Mhm.
child. Okay, tell me about that.
So that happened. So when we did the cleaning, um, it was like a branching off because a lot of people started calling, asking, like, "Oh, do you guys do hauling?" We was like, "Yeah." So doing hauling, we bought a trailer, and it just took off. You'll be surprised how many people need hauling, and so Big Tech's hauling. It branched off, and that started 2 months after Clean Bee did.
Wow.
Hmm.
So it's funny. So when you go to clean people's houses, then if Khadijah's listening, she probably gonna bust out laughing because she's thinking about my garage. Um, people always say, "Oh, I have all of this stuff," or "I don't know what to do with this stuff." So that just really makes sense to have a hauling business if you're
Mhm.
gonna have a cleaning business.
It makes a lot of sense, and it's I call it the one stop shop because we do the hauling. We'll come and cut your grass, whatever you need, we'll come and do it.
I
So
love it.
yeah,
Seriously.
because it was just like taking the time to brainstorm, like
Uh-oh,
let's
hold
do,
on.
and so
Right on, right on. So, and then from the hauling business, you have wall to wall clothing store. Now
yes,
you're talking clothes. Okay, so how did you get started with that?
so we had the building already, and it got started. So this started August, and it got started being from Stockton. We being downtown, we wanted to give back to Stockton, and just make downtown more appeasing and friendly. And clothes is, I love clothes.
Wow. So how did you get the idea? Did you have to take some time to map it out? How did you advertise? What's been the reception?
So honestly, so for the wall to wall, it was more we did sit down and brainstorm. Um, and I have a great business partner. Can't not say I don't. I have a great business partner. We did sit down and brainstorm, and it was more what can we do with the location that we have, and it just happened.
Right on. So if you guys look at the bottom of the screen, you'll see the wall to wall website and the phone number. And you should
Mhm.
definitely go and support this sister's business. Like, this is incredible. We are in the middle of we're coming to the end, hopefully,
Yeah,
of a pandemic, and this sister started a business. I mean, like, are you serious? People are like, are you crazy? No.
I know a lot of people thought I was crazy. Like, how are you gonna do it, and what? But
Right on.
my business partner, he believed in me. He believed in the process, so we made it happen. And it was a lot of people like, how did you do it? And we never, our business it hasn't been slow. It hasn't. So even with the cleaning,
What are some of the other things you have in a cooker? I know you're looking at real estate. I know you're looking at a black investment firm, which I think is awesome. Let's talk about that black investment firm for just a minute,
okay.
if you will. What made you come up with a black investment firm?
I feel like I'm gonna be honest. We don't know how to make our money make money. We get it and we hold on to it, and to see it in the bank makes us feel good. And so I
Mm,
want to teach people how to invest their money and make their money make money. Because if we said, and that's how I was. Um, if I for myself, if I would have been okay with my cleaning business making money, then it wouldn't have brought the faith to buy the trailer. You know,
mm-hmm,
so
mm-hmm.
the trailer took care of the investment for the clothing store. So, but it was all faith. You had to make your money make money. So if you don't make your money make money, then we're happy with what we have. And so I want to help uh, build generational wealth, so our children's children can have something. So everything we did was not just in vain.
When are you going to kick off that black investment club? I think that is like, I'm dead serious. I think that I always think it should start even when you start having children, even when you're pregnant. I'll setting money aside or buying stocks. Or I use a lot of
Hmm.
apps in investing. So I use Stash, and I mean, people tell me
Yeah.
about stuff. I do it. I'll be like, I believe. What I gotta do? You know what I mean?
And that's my thing is like I want to build a trustworthy system to where you could come in and if you see these oh, okay, I have a group of people who want to invest in property in Detroit, even though you're not going to be in Detroit, but and us trusting each other, and okay, here goes a property here, buy one here, here, and then it's like apartment complex, and then it's like okay, you could get in or get out. So that's my idea of it is helping our community trust each other to get what's out there that's for us.
Right on. Um, let's talk about real estate for a minute. You said that when you did your clothing store, you already had a space,
Hmm.
right? How that, real estate is a big issue in California and housing is a humongous issue. Um, what things do you happen to cook around housing and real estate? Because I think home ownership, though affordable housing is important, even though we've been in affordable housing for the last at least 70 years. And I don't really see how it's really been beneficial for real, because we know the power is in ownership.
Hmm.
That's really how you get to build some safety, some security, and some generational wealth is in
Yeah.
home ownership. What do you have in the cooker for that?
So what I say about the real estate is you have to because we knew somebody in it already, it was more easier. But the space he already had the space, so the space for the business was already secure. He had it already. But to own commercial properties, that is and then the next step of what I'm planning on doing. So I feel like real estate, everybody should have.
And then you have life. No, say it again, sis. I'm sorry.
I didn't hear what you said.
I said, say that again. You said something about commercial real estate.
Oh, everybody should be invested in commercial real estate, and but that's something that you shouldn't go in alone. That's why you should the investment firm is because it should be a group of people. We should own buildings. We should own motels. We should own office spaces, and it's easier for us to get them. A lot of times, it's hard for African Americans to have a front store phase. So you see a lot of it online or through their homes. So to me, that's very important to be able to offer that to my community.
Right on, right on. And then you also are going to be having a life coach business. So life coach has been, I've seen people do life coach stuff
Yes.
and they need some life coaching.
Yeah.
You seem to have your stuff all together because you have
No,
three businesses up and running and
no,
you're
by the
also
grace of
working on
God.
some other stuff. I'm
By the
sorry, man.
grace
Say it
of by the grace of God.
again.
I can't take no credit. So yes, I want to do business coaching because a lot of it, I'm passionate about helping people. And a lot of times businesses, they don't fail because it wasn't a good business, but you really don't have the right tools to make it. I put in a lot of work when it comes to these businesses, the advertising, the answering phones. So it's more to it. Sometimes I could run an ad, um, and get no calls from it. I gotta
Mhm.
go and read. That's not the kind of ad that needs to be ran publicly or on the internet. So sometimes it got to be short and sweet. Book
Right on.
now. So I feel like helping people get their businesses to prosper. That's what I'm so passionate about doing because a lot of people look at like, how'd you do it? I'm like, it's not easy, but it's doable.
Wow. If you're just joining us on Sunday Sitting with Sisters, I am talking to Sister Ashley Thomas. And this amazing sister, y'all, let me give y'all a little bit of background. She is a mother of five. You have four girls, which is incredible. You have, and one boy, you know, um, and she's a single mother. She was married before, and that didn't work. And on her way out the door of ending that relationship, she decided to go to college and she went to San Joaquin Delta College and got a degree there. And then she went ahead on to the University of Pacific and got a degree there. And then, after being wrongfully fired from the college, uh, she
Yeah.
was like, I'm gonna have to get some businesses because I'm gonna need to not get fired again. So, and then she has these three businesses. The first one is the Clean Bee Cleaning Service, and then the next one is called Big Tex Hauling and Junk Removal, and then she has let me see, wall to wall clothing store. And y'all, this sister has three businesses that she's making it work, and I really love it. And then also she's working on real estate. What you gonna do in real estate? You gonna be like a broker or something, or
That's
uh,
my plan. That's my
okay,
plan.
right
But I
on.
have an amazing coach, Anthony Wilford. He is doing his thing in Stockton, California. And he is we plan on working together.
Right on. And then you're also going to have a black investment firm.
Yes.
Right on. And then the life coach. That's like
Yes.
six businesses right there, sis. That's a lot. But you know what? When you think about your life, when you work for somebody else, you working that hard. But
Yeah,
now
I
you just
worked
working
that
as hard for
hard.
yourself. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
sis. What you say?
Said I have definitely worked that hard for somebody else.
So how beautiful. So what words of advice would you, because we hit on so many things, what words of advice would you give to a woman who, whether she has children or not, but it's particularly if she has children and she's trying to get out of an abusive relationship? What advice would you give to someone like that? Because that's something that you've done.
Yeah. Leave, but and be okay with leaving. A lot of people regret like, oh, my kids, because my biggest thing is I didn't want my kids to grow without a father because I didn't have one growing up. And that was hurting them more than it was helping them. And it's scary. Leaving with 4 kids, it was scary. Like, oh my gosh, how can you do this? But when you feel like you can't, you can. Every time I get weak, I always God give me strength to keep going, and my kids see it. And your kids are happy and proud of you when they see like, oh, look what my mom did. My son like, Mommy, can I use your business phone? And he only 2. I'm like, no, baby, not right now. But it's just like they see you, they watch you, and they know everything.
Right on. Um, that's really interesting. What in terms of them starting a business, like what advice would you give to them around starting a business?
Take what you're good at and make it make money. You got to take whatever you're passionate about, make it make money. You sit and you think 3 different ways it can make money. Like, how can it make money? And if you need any help, I'm willing to help anybody start a business because they don't give you the blueprint of how to start it, business credit, the steps you need to even start your business. And I feel like it's easier to work for yourself than somebody else.
Mm, you can say that again. You have to be accountable to yourself. You know what I mean? So that makes so much sense when you said that. I'm putting up right now your wall2wallfashion.com is that website. And that's where people can also reach you as well. And then I know you have another website for your cleaning bee,
Yeah.
uh, which I'm going to be reaching out myself. Uh, because now it's springtime and I'm gonna need some help getting through this stuff I got in my own house. So, and then there you have the cleaningbeeservice.org. And you do come to Sacramento, so you're based in Stockton, but you go all over the place,
Hmm.
which is awesome because we really do need that. Um, Education wise, do you plan on pursuing any more educational goals or achievements in that area?
Yes.
What
Once
do you
we
think you like?
currently I'm in the master's program at UOP, but with everything going on, I almost shifted a little bit. So right now, I'm looking to further my education. I'm gonna get my master's.
Right now, when acquiring all the education, this is an issue. I was talking to my cousin who's working on her doctorate.
Uh,
What is I know we tell people get education, you need education, but is there something therapeutic about going to school?
I think society makes you feel like you have to. What I preach to my kids, you get your education so you could fall back on it, but you get your business so you could get rich from it.
Right on, right
So
on, right on. Um, what are your future plans in terms of so say it's like I don't know, 25 years from now. Where will Ashley Thomas be?
In my dream home on my land in Atlanta.
Okay, so you want to go to Atlanta, right?
Yes.
What made you pick Atlanta? Just curious.
Um, really the community, to see more people like you striving and just just really the old Southern feel. But that's
Wow.
my dream, to watch my kids be successful.
Wow. What are some of your biggest concerns as being a parent? You have four girls and one boy.
Hmm. Some of honest to be honest is that I had kids young, but they see that I made it, and I don't want them to make the same mistakes that I made. I said I made enough for all of us. We don't have to make the same ones. And so just being that positive role model for them and letting them see that this is real life. No matter how I paint your picture, you got to paint your own.
Hmm. Right on. Are there any jewels or nuggets that you've experienced that you would want to share looking back in retrospect? And I'm going to tell you why. Let me preface this question with just a little bit of background. So
Okay.
over the last month, been reading a lot of biographies of older women. So right now I'm in the midst of Sissy Tyson's book, As I
Okay.
Am.
Okay.
Um, uh, Seeing Tina Turner's piece last night. There is something about for me. I'm a nuggets person, so I can hear someone's story or read someone's story or and really take away nuggets that probably it took them 50 years to learn, but I'm
Hmm.
getting ready to learn that in a matter of minutes. Like, okay, so when I come across that, I have a little bit more. I have some tools to work with and I don't have to go through no 20-year relationship to realize that something I could have did maybe 5 years into the relationship.
Yeah.
Any nuggets, like when you look back on your life, whether it pertains to your kids, school, business, any nuggets.
I would say you have to encourage yourself. As much as I wanted people to be happy for me and like proud, I didn't get the support I wanted or the support I thought I needed. And it makes you feel like, what are you doing it for? So it's like at the end of the day, you have to learn to encourage yourself. You have to write, I know all the rest of my business plans for the rest of my life. You got to have those vision boards. You got to dream, and believe, and not just say it. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. If I say I'm gonna help you, I'm gonna help you. If I say I'm gonna start me a business, I'm gonna start me a business. And when you don't feel like doing it, you gotta make sure you got a great support system to help encourage you get there. So it first starts with yourself, and then who you surround yourself around, the people you surround yourself with. Because if they don't believe in you, when you doubt yourself, you don't have that uplifting spirit to come in and say, "You got this."
Mm. So here's my four. I got four nuggets immediately because I'm trying to write at the same time. My writing is so sloppy. Nobody can read it but me. But you said first, you must believe in it. First starts with you. So first, it just starts with you.
Mhm.
Two, then you have to encourage yourself. And then you have to have a dream,
Mhm.
with some plans attached to the dream. And
Yeah.
then you need a support system. Those are the four immediate nuggets that I got from you. Like, and what I love about you, you're very, how do I say this? You're very short and sweet. You don't have to do a whole bunch of long, drawn out stuff. You was just very short and sweet. You would just basically like it starts with you. Because sometimes we're always taught to search outside of ourselves for what we need inside ourselves. Because nobody can
Yeah.
really make you feel beautiful. Nobody can really tell you that you have to believe that for yourself. And I don't
Mhm.
know about you, but I've met people, you be like, wow, this person, the guts of this person. You know what I mean? But that's because they really believe in this. So they're not waiting for you to get them the okay, you
Mhm.
know, and then you encourage yourself. And it makes me think of this song when you said that there is a gospel song. I can't remember who sings it. If somebody out there listening, it starts off when she says, first you have to encourage yourself. That's how
Mhm.
the first part of the song starts off.
Yeah,
And
I know. I
immediately
can't
that
sing.
rang
I
in
can't
my
sing it
mind.
for you.
Huh?
I said, I can't sing. I can't sing it for you, but I know
Me
what you're
either.
talking about.
Yeah, so that's the first, because
Yeah,
that's like, like you got to encourage yourself.
you
And then you
do.
have to dream. And some studies have shown that people have lost the ability to dream. And when you lose your ability to dream, it's kind of like you're dead in the water,
Hmm.
because that's usually what makes it through. It's like when you be working out and you be like, I'm working out because I'm gonna be a better person.
Yeah.
You gotta see the ending, even though you over here sweating right now. So that's a really beautiful thing. And then finally, a support system. It is beautiful to have people. Like, one of the rules that I learned early on in my life, if I was telling someone about something I wanted to do and they kind of was like, how you gonna do that? I would get rid of you so quick.
Yeah.
I'll be gone. I'll be like, I can't even. I love it when people say, girl, you can do what you need. What can I do to help you?
Yes.
Like, what you need me to do? Wake you up every morning at 5 so you can go walk. I mean, just the littlest thing. If they say, girl, you could do it. I know
Yeah.
you can do it. Just that alone is like,
It
thank
makes a
you.
difference.
It
Hmm.
really does. Cause then you feel like you can really do it. You know what I
Because
mean? So I love
when
my
you have the odds stacked against you, it's kind of, people tell you it's impossible. Statistics. You're supposed to be a single mom. You're supposed to be on welfare. So they make it okay. So you're they make it to where, like I tell my kids, society says I can sit at home and do nothing. I have 5 kids. I'm a single mom. I'm a black woman. That's what they okay that. Nobody's gonna say, girl, you need to go do something with your life. So I always say you have to dream big, so can't nobody determine your outcome. What do
right
you want?
on,
So
right
you
on,
dream big and you work hard.
right on.
You
Sister Khadijah said the song is Donald Lawrence's and the Mass Choir. Encourage
heard
yourself.
this.
Thank you, sis. I knew somebody knew that song. It just
I know
played in
that
my
she
head.
can't.
You know what I mean? It just played in
Hmm.
my head. And so that was number 2 on your nuggets that I got from you,
Yes,
which is
everybody should go
important.
listen to that song today.
Yeah, because it make you feel like you can make it happen. You can
Hmm.
be laying in the bed and that come on, you be like, let me get my butt up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So that
yeah.
to me is so inspiring. The other part, you said something that was key, which was true. You said that, being a single mother of 5, people already have a stereotype of who they think you are or where you should be.
Hmm.
But I mean, the fact that you a single mother of 5, I know you work hard. I think sometimes we forget that being a mother is hard work. I
Hmm.
mean, you got your kids on you all day. You know,
Yeah,
they want their needs met now. So
I'm
that
like,
itself is a job, honestly. And then on top of that, you're doing all of these other things to sustain your children,
and
in
they
their
help.
lives, and
They
you're
help.
providing root. You know what I mean? So, how can assistant business grow? Okay, so this guy has a question. How can you help my already existing business grow? First choice custom paint and first choice commercial window cleaning. That's his question for you.
He could email me and we could have a discussion, a consultation.
Okay, so what is your email, sis? Because that's what I don't have up here. Did you put that in
It's
the
on the
private
website.
chat?
Let
You
me.
probably did.
Uh, it should be on the website.
Yeah. If I
And
just have it, yeah.
because
So go to the website, bruh, and
reach out to me and I'll sit down and have a consultation and we'll just go over what you're doing now and then what you could do. Yeah.
right on. So there you go, brother. There's some homework. Well, I love so that's good. There's some homework for you. Go there, email this sister, and get that in. Because what I do know, you said something that's key. You said you got flyers and you and your kids was out there passing out
Hmm.
flyers.
At
Like,
Walmart.
yeah, but that's that entrepreneurial spirit, though, for real.
Mhm.
It's not like the government gonna give you a grant and then you gonna pay for some TV ads. Like, you know,
No, you gotta. People think that it's gonna happen overnight, and having this business, it doesn't happen overnight. And that's what I can. Some days it's like, oh, is it gonna work? Is it working? But you gotta stay in. You gotta do it, and you gotta just stay faithful to yourself. And if you believe that your business is your passion, that's what you want to do, and that's why you gotta stay faithful to yourself and not the business. Because
right on,
when it doesn't look good, um, it's time. If my ads are not going good, we're gonna go pass out flyers. at Walmart, wherever. We'll sit up, but we do it, if Clean Bee, I'll pass out Clean Bee flyers in front of the clothing store. So
Right.
we work it out, and it's so many different ways you can advertise for your business. I just told my mom, I said, quit your job, come be my marketing manager. She said, really? I said, leap out on that face.
Right on, right on.
So
So is your family members in your business with you? I didn't even ask you about that.
yes. So
Wow.
my brother, he just came along. He's working the clean bee and the hauling, and the kids. My kids are phenomenal.
Wow. What's the ages of your children?
My oldest, she's 14, and I have a 13-year-old. And my third daughter, she is 9, 8, and my son, he's 2.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, in some other cultures that usually own the store in our neighborhood, they have their kids in there working on the cash register and stocking
Mhm.
and, doing everything. And I feel like that's how you develop those work habits.
Mhm. You teach
So,
them how to work. You teach them like so they get paid. Teach them, and then you see what they won't spend their money on. I said, oh, so y'all spend my money on that, but you won't spend yours. So so you teach them life skills because it's not they don't learn it in school. They could go to school, but they're not gonna learn about credit. They're not gonna learn how to manage money. You could give them the world and they'll still be broke. I told them I'm not taking care of no kids. You grown? I said no, we're not taking care of grown kids. I want to come to your house. I want to come put my feet up at your house. So
right on. Uh, Mr. Carl, you have to go to the website and get the email. Okay, so that's why I'm putting it up here for you. Clean Bee Cleaning Service. Go there. Her email is right there. So you have to do a little
mhm.
homework.
And I'll
Okay.
take care of you. I'll take care of you.
Yeah. So that's right. So, sis, thank you so much for joining me today. For sharing your wisdom, your
Thank
knowledge,
you.
your journey, your story is incredible. You have
Thank
so
you.
much to share, and I always say it's those nuggets, and the nuggets that you gave us today is first, and it starts with you, and then you must encourage yourself, and then you must dream and have a plan. Dream big and have a plan, and also having a support system.
Mhm.
And with that, family, I hope y'all have a great day. I hope you got those same nuggets that I got. I love nuggets, man. I love nuggets because I put that. I'm gonna remember that as I'm working on whatever I'm working on next. Um, I'm gonna remember to stay encouraged and dream big and always keep building an awesome support system because it really does start with me. Thank you so
Mhm.
much, sister, for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, family, I'll be back next week.